Also.
There's no. That's gotta be racist. That's gotta be racist. Hello everyone, welcome back to Open Arms Reactions. My name is Casper Fox, this is Mortius, and today we're back with more RWBY.
Today we are checking out Volume 2, Chapter 6, called Burning the Candle. Now, in the real world, we have been very busy with some collaborations, our other series, our solo content, which it's been a while, so we've mentioned, by the way, links in the description. We both have our own solo channels as well, where we check out cool things. Go check those out if you want more content. But, all that being said, it's been a bit. How well do you remember what happened last time, Casper?
So I remember that the evil guys, the baddies, have infiltrated the school.
Sorry.
And they infiltrated the school and they started kind of scouting out the powers of, was it Piero?
It was,
No.
yes.
Was it Piero? Yeah, okay. And then he kind of just no, I give up. I forfeit, and
Yep, good.
There's tournament, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. There's a bit. We had a big battle with the stolen tech from Roman, who stole the giant mecha suit. And
maybe
we
just
saw
keeping
some like
track
combinations.
of like music and motifs breaks your brain, because like why is this the only series that you can consistently actually remember everything that happened before? Like
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's coming back to me. Yeah, it just kind of started coming back to me.
All right, well, wonderful. I'm really glad to hear
Yeah.
it. We're not gonna have to. I'm not gonna have to catch up. I was so ready. Like I even like skimmed through 4 and 5 to help catch you up, but that was all the really important bits. So we are now going to hop into Chapter 6, Burning the Candle. I am very excited for this one. There's some interesting stuff.
They're gonna kill
here.
Roman.
Let's do this. Phew.
I need you to pick a tablecloth. Aren't they both the same? I don't even know why I asked.
Okay, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bonk. Oh my god, the entire thing was leveled.
Have you?
I remember there was a joke when this episode came out that like whenever she moved, like because of her stupid power, like I like to imagine that she was just like Blake, punch me. Like
Punch
Blake
her
just
so
like
she can
punches her in the stomach. She's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's genius. Genius.
You picked up the dress yet? What's the point? Who cares about the dance if Blake isn't going?
Oh, don't worry.
Aww.
She's going. Weiss? I thought we agreed. No doilies.
If I don't get doilies, you don't get fog machines.
What the f is a doily?
It's a like type of like decoration. It's almost kind of like a paper paper coaster with like fringes and frills at the edge. So, put a picture of a doily.
I'm gonna watch
There
it
we
at the
go.
premiere because I have no idea what that is.
It's fair.
I'm just like a piece of paper on a plate right now in my head.
Basically, like, and then, like, have you ever seen like at a wedding or like for a decoration, like under a cup, it would be just like a piece of paper that's like a circle, and then at like the edge of that paper are like frills and fringe. Does that
I've
feel
never
at all
been to a
familiar?
wedding.
Well, you should make more friends that love each other.
Your dance is gonna
We were thinking about it.
That's pretty cool.
You ladies all excited for dress up?
Yeah, right.
Riz.
Laugh all you want. I'll be turning heads tomorrow night.
What are you two?
Slay.
This?
Ignore him. That's not what he says.
He knows
I
now.
moved to Michigan.
Or he knows
but I
that
grew
one.
up in Vacuo. It's not exactly a shirt and tie kind of place.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So, what does Blake think of all this? She's still being all, you know, Blakey.
Yes.
Obviously.
Blakey.
I still can't think of a way to change her mind.
Guys, trust me. Blake will be at the dance tomorrow.
What do you got planned, bro? What are you scheming?
So
Oh,
we've got
she
Blake
gets tired.
even worse than before. Yeah, she's continuing to just keep herself up working on these. I love the two of them kind of coming in. By the way, we forgot to mention, just hearing like the voices and like hearing like Carrie and Michael made me think. By the way, as of the time we're recording this, Somehow Rooster Teeth returned, by the way. Not to like date this, but Rooster Teeth is back, I guess.
weird,
So
yeah.
so that's cool. Well, welcome back, Rooster Teeth,
Welcome
from
back, Rooster
a
Teeth.
grave that I really didn't think even Rooster Teeth could dig themselves out of this time. But here we are. They're back. Congratulations. Also,
There's no. That's gotta be racist. That's gotta be racist. Like, that's got. That's got. Nah,
I mean, look
that's
at her
crazy.
face.
That's like
she's not happy about it
shaking
either.
coleslaw in front of a white person. That's crazy. That's genuinely insane. I can say that. I hate coleslaw, but have you seen those videos when like white people, when there's coleslaw at the function and they like do the river dance? Shit's funny as hell. No?
pressing
Okay.
play.
Nobody thinks what I think.
So disrespectful.
The music fits so well.
Oh, it does. The music, the soundscape is perfect.
We need to talk.
Oh my god. Oh. It's the double guns fella.
Huh? We need to talk.
Oh. Oh, I didn't grab it.
Ren, I'm just gonna come out and say it. You
Gay.
are one of
No,
my
I'm kidding.
best friends. These past few
Cute.
months, I feel like we've really bonded. Even though you don't say much. I mean, you're really quiet.
Is he even
To be
there?
perfectly honest, I don't know that much about you personally, but darn it, I consider
Yes.
you to be the brother I never had.
Look at this awkward boy.
And I you.
Which is
Aw.
why I
Which is great because he's like so quiet and awkward. Like the fact that he's like, and you, like he wouldn't mince words. He wouldn't say something just to make someone feel better. So the fact that he says that really does feel
Sounds very
kind of
cute.
indicative.
Yeah.
And I you.
Thanks,
Which
Rin.
is why I wanted to get your advice on girls.
Girls.
I just don't know how to girls. I guess what I'm asking
He's trying
is,
so hard to like.
how did you and Nora, you know?
We're
We're not actually together.
Nora, I said headphones on.
She has boop on her shirt.
I know, right?
So Eevee
That's
coded.
that's
yeah.
actually well. Actually, now that Rooster Teeth is back, I wonder if the merch will come back. But that boop shirt was actually merch for a while, and one of my friends had it. And
Aw.
it's awesome. But yeah, so we've got that like interesting thing where, as much as like they all kind of know each other, Jean thought that the two of them were kind of together, and the kind of awkward laugh Nora saying isn't. Kind of an interesting dynamic.
Together.
We're not together.
Together.
Nora, I said headphones on.
What
Is he just-
about?
It's Weiss. I'm completely head over heels for her, and she won't even
Aw,
give me a
buddy.
chance.
Yeah.
She's cold, but she's also incredible. She's smart and graceful and talented. I mean, have you heard her sing? I just wish she'd take me seriously, you know? I wish I could tell her how I feel without messing it all up.
Then do it.
Literally.
What?
Tell her.
Tell her exactly what
Yeah.
you just said. No ridiculous
Oh.
schemes, no pickup lines. Just be honest.
Pure, go get your man.
For
Pure, go
real.
get your man, bro.
Literally. It's so. And like, do you remember like the whole joke about like he's assuming she has a date, and like what was it he said? It was something like, if you don't have a date to the dance, I'll wear a dress. Like the whole thing is like just so silly and ridiculous. I love it.
What?
Jean, you can't get it wrong if it's the truth.
You're right. Thanks, Pyrrha.
Poor Pyrrha.
Good talk, Ren.
Bro, let my guy put some clothes on.
She knows.
Practice what you preach, Pyrrha.
Yang, if you're going to tell me to stop, you may as well just save your breath.
I don't want you to stop. I want you to slow down.
We don't have the luxury to slow down.
It's not
For
a
real.
luxury. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
The necessity is stopping Torchwick.
And we're going to. But first you have to sit down and listen to what I have to say.
Fine.
Ruby and I grew up in Patch, an island just off the coast of Vale. Our parents were
building.
huntsmen. Our dad
Fire.
taught at Signal, and our mom would take on missions around the kingdom. Her name was Summer Rose.
Oh.
Yep. We're getting some lore here,
Summer
especially with how
Rose.
important we know Ruby's mom is to all of this. And then I think we've talked about this in Volume 1, but just as a reminder, as to saying, like, Ruby's mom, like, these two are half-sisters. They share a dad,
Yeah.
but they do not share their mom. And so...
Right.
And our mom would take on missions
So
around
that
the
one was
kingdom.
our mom, but then,
Her name
like,
was Summer
yeah.
Rose. And she was like, super mom. Baker of cookies and slayer of giant monsters.
Hell
And
yeah.
then, one day she left for a mission and never came back.
Oh.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Ruby was really torn up, but I think she was still too young to really get what was going on, you know? And my dad just kind of shut down.
She never came back?
She
As
never
in,
came
they
back.
didn't see a body?
They did not see a body.
Okay, so she's 1000% alive.
No body, no death.
For real.
But yeah, so it's kind of sad. Like, this is some heavy backstory, and I love the, like, Yang having to kind of be the older sister in a tragedy. Like, Ruby didn't fully understand what was happening. And so that also tells us, like, we didn't actually know how young she was, but Ruby was, like, young when Summer was gone. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Ruby was really
Yeah.
torn up, but I think she was still too young to really get what was going on, you know? And my dad just kind of...
And the animation of that
down.
sad smile.
It
Oh,
wasn't long before
Oh,
I knew
yeah.
why.
The shading of this is incredible.
Summer wasn't the first love he'd lost. She was the second. The first was my mom. He wouldn't tell me everything, but I learned that the two of them had been on a team together with Summer and Crow, and that she'd left me with him just after I was born.
team
Crow.
composition. We
We
know
got Summer, Crow, and
we
him.
know Crow.
Oh, we do?
Well, we haven't met him, but he was the one, my Uncle Crow.
Uncle Crow,
and
right.
then
Yes. In
Also,
the
the
interview, yeah.
message at the end of Volume 1 to Ozpin was the Queen has pawns from Crow. Crow. And so we now know we've got Summer, Crow, and then Yang's mom, and then Yang and Ruby's dad all met on a team together, which is kind of interesting lore there.
The two of
Yeah.
them had been on a team together with Summer and Crow, and that she'd left me with him just after I was born. No one had seen her since.
Why did she leave?
Okay.
That question. Why? I didn't know the answer, but I was determined to find out. It was all I thought about. I would ask anybody I could what they knew about her. Then, one day, I found something. What I thought was a clue that could lead me to answers.
Oh.
Or maybe even my mother.
Her hair.
I waited for Dad to leave the house, put Ruby in a wagon, and headed out. I must have walked for hours. I had cuts and bruises, was totally exhausted, but I wasn't going to let anything stop me. When we finally got there, I could barely stand. But I didn't care. I had made it. And then I saw them. Those burning red eyes. There we were, a toddler asleep in the back of a wagon and a stupid girl too exhausted to even cry for help. We might as well have been served on a silver platter. But, as luck would have it, our uncle showed up just in time.
With the scythe.
You ready for the Crow? There's our Crow reveal.
That's awesome.
Crow is, spoiler alert for when they actually show up, Crow's one of my favorite characters in this entire series. Crow is so cool. And so, we get, and I'll tell you this is like the tiniest little bit of a spoiler, just a little bit, but you know how they all have like symbols that represent them, which is really important. Like
Yes.
Ruby has her father. That symbol in the background, the gear with kind of the winged like eye feather around it, the way it looks like both a gear with a wing, but also a like eye kind of.
Yeah.
That is his symbol. So once he shows
Okay.
up, that is actually sort of his signifying symbol
Right.
that we get in the background during this introduction. And so, yeah,
Okay.
Crow comes and saves them. What an intense, like, sequence and backstory, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
these two have been through a lot together.
Served on a silver platter. But, as luck would have it, our uncle showed up just in time. My stubbornness should have gotten us killed that night.
Yang, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I understand what you're trying to tell me, but this is different. I'm not a child, and this isn't just a search for answers. I can't just—
I told you, I'm not telling you to stop. I haven't. To this day, I still want to know what happened to my mother and why she left me. But I will never let that search control me.
I'm not telling you to stop. I haven't. Is such a
Yeah.
powerful line for these two right
My
now.
God. Did she draw the like his logo on the cardboard or on the what is that called in English?
Chalkboard?
What's that called? Chalkboard. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That looks like the gear you were talking about, but just the eye. I don't see the wings,
We'll
but it
see
might
if
be
we zoom out.
when we zoom out.
We're
Yeah.
going to
I
find
actually
answers
genuinely
we're
don't
looking for,
remember.
like. But if we destroy ourselves in the process, then what good are we?
For
I
real.
don't understand. I'm the only one who can do this.
No, you don't understand. If Roman Torchwood walked through that door, what would you do?
I'd fight him.
You'd lose.
I can't stop him.
Literally.
Can't even stop
Dude, you
me.
barely slept.
You can't even stop me.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that is
It is the
symbol back
logo.
there.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not asking you to stop. Just please, get some rest.
Again,
Not
the
just for
tremolo
you.
violin in the back.
For the people you care about.
Isn't that a damn beautiful sequence, dude?
And it's so gorgeous, dude. And I'm beginning to
So
think
good.
that in some, I must have missed the memo where composers are using a tremolo string instrument to signify a big change
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
moment, because it's happened in so much media that we've seen so far. And
Yeah.
here it is again, like right as they are having this conversation.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's just like
Gorgeous.
kind of like high tension. It makes sense, honestly, from just
Mm.
a like how our ears hear these instruments standpoint. But yeah,
Mm.
And if you feel like coming out tomorrow, I'll save you a dance.
Aw, wait. Feels good, man. Wololo.
Hey Casper, do you remember last recording session when I told you what my #1 ship was back in the early volumes?
I assume it's this one.
I was such a Bumblebee shipper. Again, I
Bumblebee.
am so careful not to put that through any sieve of what will or won't happen, what romances will or will not bloom. I am distinctly remembering what happened before, but like I honestly think it might have been this episode that really did it for me, like this scene. And when he was like, "Save you a dance," I went on and saw a bunch of shit posts and was like, "Yeah, I can be on board for this one." So I, at least in the early volumes, was always such a Bumblebee shipper, and just "I'll save you a dance" wink is so cute. Oh, what a good friend.
Oh, he's so hopeful.
Neptune!
Oh no.
Oh, hey, what's up?
I know this is a little unorthodox, but I wanted to ask you something. Would you like to accompany me to the dance tomorrow?
Damn. He's gonna walk away and Neptune's gonna say no. Oh, never mind.
We actually don't know the answer. That's not
Aw.
important. What's important is what he heard.
That's so sad.
And so yeah,
My
before
boy.
we get to this actual dance part here, yeah, he was so hopeful, and then
Yeah.
I love the transition here from like the flower he
Yeah.
drops to the single drooping flower in the bouquet.
Right.
Like that's excellent.
It's like almost same exact placement as
Exactly.
well. Gorgeous.
Yeah, really well done there.
Yeah.
And then look, Yang dress.
Oh wow. Oh.
Oh, you look beautiful!
We can see Blake.
Can we have a serious
Oh, is that
talk
Ruby?
about how Weiss
Did you catch that line?
Yeah.
Weiss
that
has,
is genuinely
Weiss has the
impressive.
heeled combat boots.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about her character design is her combat boots have pretty sizable heels.
Right.
So I just love the
Yeah.
like.
Can we have a serious talk about how Weiss fights in these?
Stupid,
Okay.
dumb.
Dude, that works.
He worked.
Neck trap.
He tried something.
I knew you'd look better in a tie. Oh my god.
So, does this mean we're going together?
Technically, though my first dance is spoken for.
That's so cute.
Isn't
oh my
it?
God.
Isn't this
She's so into
incredible?
blondes. Yeah.
You have no idea how much of a joke that actually is, and how much of a war you. Because I will also let you know, like, Blake to Sun and Blake to like Black Sun versus Bumblebee is probably one of the biggest shipping wars in the community. So if you end up being a Black Sun shipper, you and I are gonna end up rekindling a decade-old fight that I thought was behind me. If you end up being a Black Sun shipper, we are rekindling the probably biggest shipping war in the entire fandom. Is Black Sun versus Bumblebee.
to me, the biggest.
There is absolutely jokes about it being like the War of the Blondes and Blake totally having a type. Like there's absolutely jokes there.
That's absolutely insane.
What were you gonna say though?
No, I was saying the biggest shipping war I've seen since this has been between Amazon and Mask here in Denmark.
God. Also, look at her eyeliner though. Her eyeliner's really sick here too.
So pretty.
Technically, though my
And
first
she's swinging her bow.
for.
Yeah.
Did we get to see them dance? 3/4, nice. Little valse.
Good point. Yeah. Look at him.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh, and then okay, so we saw a little bit of it. Cute. She's laughing.
Yeah.
How cute she would come.
Mission accomplished. So, what do we do now?
Just have fun.
Does that mean I can change out of these stupid things and into my hood now?
Ruby, stupid lady stilts.
Lady stilts.
Ruby is not having a good time. And also, you have to imagine, she's like the youngest person here by far. It probably is a little like awkward to be the only 15-year-old at a dance of all like 17 and up. So yeah, it's tough.
Stupid lady stilts.
Not enjoying yourself?
Oh, principal.
Oh, no.
Professor, you put some respect on Ozpin's name. How dare you?
Ozpin these nuts. That makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all. I'll pin your...
yourself?
Oh, no. Everything's fine. I'm just not much of a fancy-pantsy. Fancy.
Well, you
A
can
fancy
spend your
pantsy
entire life on the battlefield, even if
Depends when you die.
Yeah, that lesson's been floating around a lot lately.
If you think about it, fighting and dancing aren't so different. Two
Very true.
partners interlocked. Although one wrong move on the ballroom merely leads to a swollen foot.
Or twisted ankle.
It's not every day that friends are able to come together like this. Time has a
True.
way of testing our bonds, but it's nights like these.
Time has a way of testing our bonds. I love how every time Ozpin shows up, he gives some kind of indicator of just how much this man has actually gone through, even before we learn anything about him. Just like
He's like Master Oogway.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Come together like this. Time has a way of testing.
Time has a way of testing our bonds, Ironwood.
These that can help keep them stronger than ever.
Eurylochus.
Nights like these are ones we'll never forget.
You guys are just in time.
Uh-oh.
For the world.
And now we get to chapter 7, Dance Dance Infiltration. So, yeah, the baddies are here.
Damn. Okay.
Uh-oh. So,
Uh-oh.
not like not a lot and a lot kind of happened in this episode. I kind of mentioned to you early on that like I feel like this season is definitely underrated, but pacing is probably the biggest thing holding it back. Is like each episode on its own is pretty good, well paced, but when you like watch them back to back, it's like it's very very roller coastery.
Right.
I feel like it doesn't have as much of like season 1 had a good natural build. Like everything kind of built on what was before, but now it's like, big thing, okay, slow down, big thing, and then slow down. So it's kind of tough. But even when we do have these slower, more calm episodes that aren't as interesting, it still gave like that Blake to Yang conversation is one of my like
oh my god
absolute favorites. It's so good. And then I just like it a lot. The kind of establishing that triangle of like Jean Weiss Pira as well, Nora being understanding with the practice what you preach, that sort of like awkwardness of Nora when she was saying they weren't together. Like there's a lot going on here, a lot of teen drama in our monster fighting anime, but I am enjoying it, and I hope you are too. Do you have any final thoughts before we hop to next week's episode?
No, this was a pretty straightforward episode. Like, I'm very interested to hear more about the whole family situation with RWBY and Yang, but yeah.
Nice. I do want to say just real quick, we are going to be recording a lot of RWBY in the next 7 days because we're wanting to finish Volume 2 before Casper goes out of town. So by the time this hits YouTube, we are done with Volume 2, if my math is right. I'm like 99% sure. If not, it'll be within a couple of days. So, if you want to get all of Volume 2 completely binge-watchable, definitely consider checking out our Patreon. Otherwise, we will continue doing one episode per week until we are done. And then just like before, we'll probably do a short break with a couple of one-offs before we get into Volume 3, which I'm excited for. But for now,
I'm very excited for that one.
That's way ahead. For now, thank you for joining us for episode 6. We'll see you next week for episode 7 on YouTube, or in like 3 minutes for episode 7 on Patreon. Thank you for being here, and as always, greet the world with open arms. And we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.